gentlemen, and welcome here as we begin the road to our second half of the regular season, which of course for the Pizza Hut X Series and the Hersheys Cup Series Charter main event, we are getting set for our chase towards the chase for the championship. Not so here for these drivers in the Hersheys Cup Series non-charter series because they don't have a chase this year. They're basically just running 36 races. Well, actually, I believe for them it's it is 36 races that they're running. And they are basically trying to just get themselves into the top 5 in the point stands at the completion of this season. They're not really battling for a championship, so to say. There obviously will be a non-charter champion, whoever ends up winning overall of the drivers that are in this series. But they are basically, like I said, they're running for the 1st through 5th in the point stands to finish out the year. So that way they have a charter, a guaranteed charter, heading into the 5th season of the Hersheys Cup Series. Daniel Gilbert will line up on the pole here tonight, and he comes into tonight's race as the points leader by 13 points over Kev Shearer. Right now, Daniel Olson, David Culpepper, and Caleb Farrell are 3rd through 5th in points, so they start off the second half of the regular season in those coveted top 5 slots. Drivers who will be trying to knock them out that come into this race 6th through 10th in points include Sean Henley, Chloe Erickson, Seth Cole, Quentin Moore, and Stephen Pollard III. We'll see what they're going to do here tonight at Charlotte, as let's get the command.
Drivers, start your engines.
20 laps of racing here this evening. Going to be awfully interesting as these drivers obviously also want to finish in the top 7 for this evening's event so they can take part in the upcoming Coca-Cola 600 later on this weekend. A number of these drivers took part in the All-Star race here about a week ago, including Daniel Gilbert, Zachary Stultz, Charles Jackson, Chris Dollerton. So they've gotten a little bit of a taste of what to expect here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway under the lights. Most of these other drivers did take part in the heat races in the Hershey Shootout, but that took place during the daytime. So there are a couple of drivers here that did take part in the All-Star race that have a little bit of more experience of what the nighttime conditions will do at this 1.5-mile D-shaped oval. One driver that is in this field you will notice that we haven't seen in the field all season is the 33 of Joshua Ciculli. Now keep in mind, Ciculli was a chartered ride coming into this season, but he has given up his charter to teammate Caitlin Sang out of CJ Racing due to Caitlin Sang having a win at Eldora. Caitlin Sang trying to get into the top 30 in the points with that charter. We'll be seeing her make her first chartered start of the season later on this week in the Coca-Cola 600. Daniel Gilbert, a 2-time winner this season. He, along with Cody Smart, the only 2 drivers that have been to victory lane twice this year in the non-charter series, looking for his 3rd win of the season, starting on pole. Green flag is out. We are underway here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. It appeared that Alex Gray didn't get a very good start. Either that or Jonathan Zoerlein didn't, because Alex Gray's going to be able to shift down into that low line now. Low line is the preferred line here, as Zachary Stultz is going to try and lead the first lap. Charles Jackson, who won the last time out at a Hersheys Cup Series points-paying race. That was, of course, the charter race last week at Richmond. He'll move into 2nd behind Zachary Stultz. Stultz, former winner this season at Bristol Dirt. And now here comes Jordan Lopez to the bottom. Chris Dollerton there. Chris Dollerton, let's not forget, ended up making his way into the All-Star race after he finished 2nd in his Hershey Shootout heat race. So he knows how to get around this racetrack, and he will now go to the lead. Alex Gray following in line. Jonathan Zoerlein, Cody Smart there as well. At the line, it'll be Chris Dollerton leading that lap. They're 3 wide, a little bit further back in the pack. Like some of the Climber Tech Motorsports teammates, John Bunnell and T Vernio taking it 3 wide. I couldn't tell who it was they were 3 wide with. As Alex Gray will now move to the point. Dollerton trying to hold off Cody Smart to stay in 2nd. He will do so. Smart to 3rd. Quentin Moore now in 4th. 5th place going to be Chelsea Bowles. And outside pole sitter Paul Minnick has now found his way to the inside. He's now trying to crack the top 10, going to the inside of Chelsea Bowles for 5th. As Chris Dollerton switches lanes, he's going to go to the inside of Alex Gray and try going back to the top position. Quentin Moore now with the Dodge Dart of Chelsea Bowles behind him there in currently 3rd and 5th, trying to take away 2nd and 4th from Alex Gray and Cody Smart. Some drivers flirting with that yellow wall off of turn 4, but I'll tell you what, this weekend in the All-Star Race weekend, we expected to see a lot more cautions than we had. These drivers have really done a great job of learning this racetrack and being able to race hard but keep it green at the same time. There was quite a mess back there with Zoerlein, Jackson, Henley, and Stultz, but they keep it together off of turn 2. They're 3 wide further up. That's DJ Kurtis forcing the issue for the 4th position, putting Paul Minnick in the middle. Alex Gray up on the high side as Quentin Moore may have gotten a piece of the wall off that corner. Little contact back there as bumpers hooked between, I believe that was Tripe and T Vernio and Sean Henley, but they keep it together as DJ Kurtis now forges his way up into the runner-up position. Chris Dollerton enjoying the view out in front by about maybe 3.5 car lengths. That gap closes up to about 2 car lengths, now 1.5 as DJ Kurtis begins to try and reel in that Liberty University Honda Accord. Paul Minnick back there in the Buick in 3rd. The Dodge Dart of Quentin Moore running in 4th. DJ Kurtis drives it deep to the bottom there through 1 and 2. Dollerton couldn't hold the bottom, and now he's side by side with Kurtis's Flying J Pilot Chevrolet down the back straightaway. Into 3. I don't think Dollerton's going to be able to hold off DJ Kurtis. He has the preferred line, that low line, out of turn 4. He tries battling back. Contact! And there goes Cody Smart. Hard into the wall and up into the air goes the 12. Quentin Moore's involved as well. The caution is out. I believe we have just taken it. What a violent impact for Cody Smart into the outside retaining wall in the middle of the front straightaway. Quentin Moore with a hard lick as well. Several others involved. We're going to have to look back and see who all was in it, because when they get wrecking in that D-shaped front straightaway area, it just blocks up the racetrack, and very few are able to have the fortune of getting through without any damage sustained. But a violent impact for Cody Smart and that snap-on Ford Fusion. Hopefully he is okay. I see a couple of cars on pit road there. Looked like that might have been Noah Cars, J Cittadino, but I think that just scratches the surface of the drivers that were involved in this one. Not quite to the halfway point. DJ Kurtis will lead us under our first caution of the day. Violent impact here in our first wreck on the front straightaway this evening in this race. Well, we're going to start this back just between 3 and 4 to see just exactly what happened as far as the contact to trigger this. That's Caleb Farrell's 95 in the middle with Steven Gonzalez, and I don't know if Steven forced Farrell up into Quentin Moore or not, but then Quentin Moore gets the wall, comes down off the nose of Chelsea Bowles, hooks Cody Smart, and look at this. Oh my goodness! Flings him up into the air, and he's going to come right back down. He gets Joshua Ciculli there in the 33. They wrecked further up. We'll have to document that in a minute. There's Cittadino, Noah Cars, Becca Tellier was in it. I believe that was John Bunnell, Elijah Gilbert. Noah Cars is going to go flipping upside down. Oh, and there goes a car way up into the air. That was J Cittadino. Look at the barrel roll for Noah Cars. Still flying. Look at this. David Culpepper's involved. Phil Parker is in it. Noah Cars lands on Ryan George. James Richardson's involved. Oh, and then here comes J Cittadino from out of nowhere. He lands right in front of Nick Gunther. Charles Jackson's involved in this. Daniel Olson's got some damage. Navarro's got damage. Henley, some rear-end damage on his Chevrolet. There's Kev Shearer, who came into this race second in the points. Dougie Shears is involved. Stephen Pollard III. Alex Miller. Henry Nova may have damage. That's Chloe Erickson, that green car there, the NOS Energy Ford Mustang. My word, let's take another few looks. Take a look and see what happened with the incident further up. Oh, and this is what happened there. When Quentin Moore came down, it was right in front of Ryan George, Jonathan Zoerlein, Charles Jackson. Nowhere for any of them to go. Look at Matt McIntire in the 26 car do a nice job of avoiding. Oh, and then Joshua Ciculli just not going to slow down. He's going to ram into Quentin Moore. Tough break for him in his first non-charter start of the season. Watch Daniel Gilbert in the 4. He's going to get a piece of it right there. Hard impact into Jonathan Zoerlein. So the points leader was collected up in this. There's Henley getting nailed from behind, but I think that was Tyler Deaver. And there you see Noah Cars. Look at that. That car actually barrel rolled up over David Culpepper and a number of others. He's barrel rolling over Dougie Shears, over Pollard, over Tyler Deaver, Shearer, Erickson, Miller, Zoerlein, and Ryan George before that car finally came to rest. And then up ahead, there you see J Cittadino landing down after his aerial flight. Let's follow the 77 on our next replay. Well, we've seen wrecks here this weekend. Last week at the All-Star weekend, but nothing, I think, to this degree. Watch this again. The wrecks already happened up ahead. J Cittadino, I don't know who he's going to hit. I guess he hits the 12 right here. Bam! Hits him. Noah Cars hits him. B Tellier into the back of his Toyota Camry. And then right about here, he's going to hit that famed glitch spot on the front straightaway. Right there. Look at the air that car got. Way up into the air. You can see bottom of your screen Noah Cars in that barrel roll. Going to leapfrog over about 7 race cars. Cittadino's car still in the air. And then he's going to come down right in front of Nick Gunther. We're going to actually take an onboard with the 7 to see what he saw when the 77 lands down in front of him. Watch this. Right down and hello. My word. Just hope a lot of these drivers are okay. Those were some really scary rides for a number of them. Let's take our onboard with Nick Gunther in the 7. Here's what Nick Gunther saw. A lot more than I think he expected to. Hit from behind by Sean Henley, and then here comes the 77. Wow. Scary wreck on the front straightaway here. Our first caution of the evening. Let's go back to the restart. I don't think there's many cars left. So we will get ready to go back green. We will have about 9 laps remaining in this one. And there are only 25 drivers still running, and that doesn't even account for the number of drivers that don't have any damage. And you got Daniel Gilbert, Nick Gunther back there, along with Kev Shearer and others that we know sustained some sort of damage from that wreck, and they're restarting just outside the top 10, so we may have only as many as 10 drivers that are fully up to speed to finish this one out. We'll have to wait and see as J Kurtis will restart as the leader. Chris Dollerton second, Alex Gray is third, Paul Minnick is fourth, fifth Stephen Gonzalez, and the rest of the top 10 are Caleb Farrell, Chelsea Bowles, Trace Williams, Zachary Stultz, and Matt McIntire. Out of the race are the cars of Charles Jackson, Sean Henley, Jordan Lopez, Quentin Moore, Jonathan Zoerlein, as well as Ryan George, John Bunnell, Joshua Ciculli in his first non-charter start will finish with a DNF. Also out of the race include the cars of Tyler Deaver, Chloe Erickson, Stephen Pollard III, J Cittadino, Dougie Shears, Noah Cars, B Tellier, David Culpepper, and Cody Smart as the green flag is back out for DJ Kurtis. And there you see, like I said, it looked like there were only going to be about maybe 10 cars up to speed. Daniel Gilbert, we know, had damage, and he has dropped way back. And I believe that is the top 10 you were seeing in this shot right here. Back to Chelsea Bowles, maybe Nick Gunther as well. I think Nick Gunther might have been in 11th, so maybe the top 11 fully up to speed as Chris Dollerton will go to the point. Alex Gray going to try and take second, so the battle's really going to be on for that 7th and final transfer position, which right now I believe is being held by the Buick of Matt McIntire. Dollerton trying to hold off Alex Gray. Gray got a nice run down the back straightaway, but he can't stick his nose to the inside of Chris Dollerton through 3 and 4. That was a nice block by Chris. I'm actually surprised he was able to hold his car down there, to be honest. Gray in second, Stephen Gonzalez right there in the 3rd position, and now he wants more. He's going to go for second off of the Exalta Chevrolet. I'll tell you one driver that's going to benefit big time from what's happened in that one wreck. That is Caleb Farrell in the 95. Farrell's actually been on a bit of a skid lately, and this is going to pick him up in the point standings for sure. As drivers like Daniel Gilbert and Kev Shearer got involved in that wreck. David Culpepper, we all talked about, out of the race in the 41st position. He came into this race 4th in points, so no doubt Charlotte Motor Speedway going to be playing big dividends into shaking up the point standings heading into next week's race. Dollerton out in front as the battle is on for the second position behind him. That's going to allow him to scamper away, at least for the moment. DJ Kurtis side by side with Steven Gonzalez, 3 wide. Zachary Stultz, there was some contact right there between Stultz and Caleb Farrell as they are 3 wide for that third position. And whoa, they nearly took that 3 wide situation into a battle for third as Caleb Farrell nearly got to the inside of Steven Gonzalez. They were out of 4, and here comes Nick Gunther now to the bottom 3 wide, putting Stultz in the middle, Farrell to the high side. Kurtis, though, setting his sights back for the lead off of Dollerton. Slingshots to the inside. He may have a fender alongside heading into 3. And indeed he does. Side by side between the Chevrolet of DJ Kurtis and the Honda of Chris Dollerton. Slow car up ahead. That is Henry Nova in the Honda. And Nova almost held up his teammate. They're going to split him 3 wide. How they all got by him, I'm not certain. Caleb Farrell might have had a little bit more difficulty getting around, but for the most part, everybody up here for the leaders did a heck of a job getting by that slower lap machine of Henry Nova. Kurtis, though, out in front. Steven Gonzalez into second. These drivers still looking for their first wins of the season. Matter of fact, up here in this field, none of these drivers have yet gone to victory lane, with the exception of Zachary Stultz, who right now is running back in the 9th position. Top 8 have yet to pick up their first win of the season in the non-charter series. So we may have another car up ahead that we may have to deal with. I couldn't quite tell who it was from that shot down the back straightaway. We're going to probably find out momentarily, though. It'll be 2 to go when they hit the line, and I have a very sinking feeling they're going to catch that car before we get to the checkers. That's the Climber Tech Motorsports car of J Vernio. He's going to hold up DJ Kurtis on the inside. Look at Dollerton trying to get around the outside. Can't do it. He gets held up along with Nick Gunther and M McIntire. Now they're going to battle 3 wide for that 5th position. Top 4 have broken away. It's Kurtis, Gonzalez, Trace Williams, and Alex Gray. Here comes Gonzalez to the inside line looking for the lead from DJ Kurtis. Alex Gray going to go to the inside of Trace Williams. That's the battle for the 3rd position. It might be for 2nd. Trace Williams going to make it 3 wide with Kurtis out of 4. Another slow car. Alex Miller they're going to have to deal with as the white flag is displayed. Steven Gonzalez dives into the inside, just barely going to block Alex Gray. Trying to pick up the win. Gray moves into 2nd. Williams to 3rd. Kurtis going to get held up now by Alex Miller. That's going to bring Chelsea Bowles, Zachary Stultz, and others right to his back door. Alex Gray to the inside of Steven Gonzalez, looking for the win, can't get to the inside. Steven Gonzalez out of turn number 4. He will capture his first win of the season in the non-charter series. He will take the checkered flag here today at Charlotte. And I was just looking real quickly. That pause was because I thought I may have just seen a 1 in the win column already for Steven Gonzalez, but that was not the case. It is his first career Hersheys Cup Series non-charter win, and it comes here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And the drivers that will transfer into this season's Coca-Cola 600. Steven Gonzalez the winner, Alex Gray, Trace Williams, DJ Kurtis, Zachary Stultz, Chelsea Bowles, and the final transfer position will go to the Strigley Motorsports entry of Caleb Farrell. Wow. What a crazy race this one was. And we're just getting started with this weekend here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Standings should be official now, so we will step out and look at them. Rest of the top 10, Nick Gunther there in 8th, M McIntire and P Minnick. Obviously, they didn't make the race, but solid outing for both the cars out of James Qualls Motorsports. Top 10 runs for those Buicks. Chris Dollerton was leading late in this thing, but he ended up getting caught up behind a slower lap machine, and that really hurt his chances. He does not finish in the top 10. He gets 11th. 12th will be Cole Deaver, Austin LaPlante 13th, Seth Cole 14th, Angel Navarro in 15th, and the rest of your top 20, Daniel Olson, Carson Gum, Phil Parker, Elijah Gilbert, and James Richardson. Only 2 other cars finished on the lead lap. Those were Kev Shearer and Daniel Gilbert, drivers who came in 1st and 2nd in the points into this evening's race. 3 cars finished off the lead lap, Alex Miller, J Vernio, and Henry Nova, and then everybody else, as you can see, finished out of the race due to that big wreck we had back on lap number 8 of this event on the front straightaway. So that's going to do it here this evening for this race at Charlotte. We still got a lot more action from Charlotte Motor Speedway coming up. Tomorrow night is the Pizza X Series race, and then we cap it off with the running of the Coca-Cola 600 for the Hersheys Cup Series charter race. Hope you'll tune in for those races. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like. Subscribe to Cover the Crew today. We've shown you full finishing results. Stephen Gonzalez picked his first career win of the Hersheys Cup Series non-charter series, and we will now show you your point standings as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing as Best. The race weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway rolls on.